All right, B class. This is a video on the 16th of April, and it's an important one, and it's going to be kind of long. I'm going to explain some things, and I'm going to explain your final tasks here. And so this can be one you'll reference for a little while, um, if you want to come back and see one. And you can see what I was saying. There's four things I'm going to go over right now, right? So we're reading the Crucible. This unit's about the Crucible and the witch trials and all that. Um, I am going to go over your two final tasks that we're going to be doing. And then I'm going to get specifically into one of them, which you can begin working on today. And that's how you're going to be using your 45 minutes. So I'll explain what that one is, and I'll give you the goal and the point of it, right? So like, what's the reasoning, like how you're going to use this in your life, and then I'll tell you the rules and regulations behind the whole thing, and then I'll give you a plan for what we're going to do and how you're going to turn things in and what's going to happen with it. Okay, so first thing, right, was your two final tasks. One of them's kind of it's a creative one, the one I'm going to explain in more detail. I'm making a mystery writing competition. I've got you and A class doing this at the same time. So we're going to see, of course, you guys get graded on the criteria that's one step up. So things will be a little more difficult for you guys, but I want to see who can write the best mystery story. There's going to be a unique way to do this. And that's the one I'm going to get you started on and explain in more details. The other one that we're going to do is the mystery story. We're looking at criteria B and criteria C for that one. So organization, which I normally don't do with the creative one, but I'll tell you why I'm doing it on this one. And then criteria C, so using your creative ability to tell a story there and words and stuff. The second task that you're going to do, we're going to complete it when you finish the play and we're done with it. So you don't have to worry about this one for a little while, but you're going to have to apply what you learned in the Crucible to our world and connect it to real world events that happened. So I'll give you more details on that one, but that's coming at the end. And that one's going to be more of a that's an analysis, so it's more of like a nonfiction thing, and that'll be criteria A and criteria D. Those four criteria will mean that we've assessed all the criteria twice in the semester, and that'll be good. We will continue to do things throughout the end of the year, but that's kind of what we're looking at. Crucible stuff should kind of be finishing up halfway through May. So we'll have some extended time there at the end to do some other projects and stuff and see where we're at. But got to take it as it comes in these times of coronavirus and also these times of me having another kid. And I'm going to miss out on some stuff, and so you'll have a substitute for a little while. So yeah, take it or leave it. That's how it's going to be. So yeah, those are your two tasks. Now, boom, getting into the point of the creative task, right? So the point of the creative task, if somebody like English lessons here and the English class is basically to get you guys at a higher level of interpreting texts, understanding things, using more vocabulary, and being able to express yourself with the language more. If I give you an assignment that is different from what you would normally just be writing to like friends and stuff, it's going to force you to use different vocabulary. It's going to force you to look some words up, think about how to express things in different ways, and because of that, you're using some words and some topics that you normally wouldn't. Doing this and using this stuff means that you will learn more of it, and it'll stick to you a little better. So that's the point. It helps build your vocabulary. The other thing that I want to know about, or I want to see you guys do, is actually be able to organize your thinking, to tell a story and tell a narrative, and be able to do that with English. Like, I guess often people write, when I say like write a creative story, people just start and they just write the whole thing without really like planning ahead. And I've noticed with you guys, when you're doing this, your stories jump around a lot, or like parts are really fast, parts are really that should be a lot, slower. you got to develop some characters, those kind of things. And these are all things to think about. I mean, we're not all going to be like fiction writers when we grow up, but we are going to all have to construct our thoughts and slow things down and edit it to where we are getting our message across to an audience for them to understand it. This task is going to be something that gets you to use new vocabulary and also gets you to think about how you can relate a message to somebody else. That's the point of it, right? So 2 final tasks, the point of why we're doing this creative one. Boom. Now number 3, getting into the nuts and bolts on what your task is about. Like I said, we're having a mystery competition. I want to see who the best writers are and who can come up with the best story. I will make some kind of a prize. I'm not sure what this will look like because, of course, nobody really knows what school is going to look like these days. So I can pretend and I got ideas in my head. But basically, I'm going to take the ones that I think are the best from the 2 grade levels, and I'm going to let somebody else read them and be a judge. As far as it goes, you got to write a mystery. You got to write a story. You need to construct a story that builds suspense throughout the whole thing and keeps a reader hooked. Not something that's like, I mean, there's a time and a place to be silly. There's a time and a place to like have some fun with writing. This one, like, try to take it seriously. See what you can do. It's a challenge, right? Looking for I'm gonna give everybody the same setting and the same idea, and then it's up to you to creatively go somewhere with it, right? And make this story happen, right? So the setting is it's a school in quarantine somewhere. Would be cool if you made it Norway. It would be cool if you made it kind of close to us, but don't feel constrained by that. But you guys are going to be writing from the perspective of a bunch of people who are isolated in their separate houses, right? Something mysterious happens. Either students keep dying, people disappear, money disappears, a teacher magically is found in a ditch dead or whatever. You can make it whatever you want, but something mysterious happens, and everybody's talking about this. And the rule is that somebody who is in that school on quarantine is responsible for it. So, or multiple people are responsible for it. Now, here's the thing. Since we're reading The Crucible, and this is where the twist comes in, right? Because just writing a normal story, you've done that before. That's not really a challenge. But the twist is that the whole story has to be told looking like a chat room. So basically text messages back and forth between people, or something that looks like Teams, something that looks like a school chat, if you will. And picture yourself like as the police investigation, finding a pile of these text messages, and you got to figure out what the mystery is. Reason why I'm doing this is we're reading a play. So, it's got the name, and then it's got what they said, name, what they said. And you got to basically construct personalities, who these people are, only by what they're saying. You guys are going to have the challenge to do that exact same thing. You got to get people's personalities across just by what they're saying. You're not allowed to describe, right? You can't say like he was a 60-year-old man with glasses or she was a 15-year-old with blonde hair. Like, no, you just straight up what they're saying all the way through, right? And basically you're turning in a pile of text messages to me. They go back and forth, and they're going to have to construct and tell a story and a whole narrative on this thing, right? I want to see that there's some personality and good word choice in that dialogue to give people a personality. If somebody's not so smart, they'll maybe use bad grammar, like "I done good today," and maybe if they're one of the smarter people, they'll say it was an exquisite time, and they'll use something like that to show, and that shows their personality. So you could have people spell things wrong. You can get whatever you need in showing what they're saying throughout the text, right? That's the challenge with how you're using your writing. Now, the other thing that I'm grading is that you gotta be organized on this one. I don't want just like a mystery story that speeds through something really fast, or people are getting near the page count that I'm going to give you, so you just cut it off real quick or whatever. I want a plan, right? And I want this to be constructed, and I want you to build a story over time and wrap it up. Develop the characters at the beginning, get some kind of like surprises and action in the middle, and have some kind of a conclusion or some kind of a like surprising cliffhanger at the end. All up to you. Now, so those things are going to happen. So that's why I'm grading B and C on these things, and kind of what I'm looking for there. I hope that clears it up. Send me a message if it doesn't. Now, you're allowed to work with one other person on this one. I'm assuming that you're both sharing the writing on that equally. You're not allowed to be a group of 3. It's going to be 2 or 1. You can feel free to work by yourself. Sometimes it's kind of nice to like brainstorm with somebody and bounce ideas off one another. So you can do that, and that'll be awesome. You're looking at I'd put it down as like 5 to 10 pages. If it's going dialogue, it should go kind of fast. You can write more than that. I wouldn't say less than 5 pages. That doesn't seem like a good summative if it's just dialogue. But yeah, 5 to 10 pages. If you're like, whoa, 50, 28, whatever, I'm going to be like, okay, cut it back a little bit. It's not supposed to be a gigantic novel, but looking in that range for what a good story would be. And yeah, so that's the nuts and bolts of what we got going on. So 2 final tasks, the point of what we're doing it for, and then the rules on it and what's there. The last thing is, what's the plan now, right? So you got 45 minutes today, and you'll notice that I put a Dropbox for next Tuesday on when I want to pitch from you guys, right? That's the first thing you got to turn in is, what's my idea? Who am I working with? What's kind of like the plan? Doesn't have to be a lot of details here, as you see in the pitch task that I'm going to post on ManageBack. It's like, give me a paragraph, kind of like, we're going to have a teacher get murdered, or we're going to have I don't know, money go missing, or the famous diamonds, or whatever. But just show me that you got a plan, and kind of like who your characters are going to be, and maybe who you're working with, setting, that kind of stuff. And you're going to turn in that pitch. The following week, I'm looking at, you should have outline, and I'm looking for like 10 bullet points on like where your story is going to go and how you're going to build it. Again, you got to have a plan on this one before you start writing it, because a lot of mysteries, you kind of need to know what the ending is going to look like in order to plan backwards for it. So I'm going to make you guys turn that in too. You'll get an outline. And then the final thing is, we're going to write the script, and you're going to have that one to turn in. So this is going to be something we're working on for a little while. But hopefully it's kind of fun and a cool way to get another task in here. And it's a little bit of a competition, which I always like to see, artistic competitions happen and see where people can take it. That's the plan. Today, you guys can use this time to watch this video, and then you got 30 more minutes to come up with a pitch, brainstorm ideas, find a partner if you want to find a partner, or ask me some questions of like, what's not clear, would this idea work? I will say you can use your actual class if you want to, use the actual people and your personalities and stuff like that. You're not allowed to be mean though, like throwing somebody under the bus, saying something mean, doing something that you haven't okayed with them and talked to them about. I'm not going to be okay with that. But like, if you people in your group, like the 2 of you, want to be in your story talking to each other, great. You can do that. That'd be, make yourselves the real people. That's fine. Gone over the final task, gone over the point of why we're doing it, talked about the rules and regulations, and giving you the plan on this thing. I'm cutting this video off. I hope you guys are awesome, and good luck with the rest of it.